Hey, what's going on, Cody? What's going on, bro? Yeah, man, listen, I just got back from Orlando, man. You know, I met Morrow, man. I tracked him down. Like you asked me to, man, and I think he's pretty dead set on staying with H. Yeah, man, he loves that NXT gig. I was at the tapings last night. What a match, man. We had a great title match. I can't reveal it yet because I'm in front of the camera and the microphone, man. I don't want to leak the spoilers out there. Yeah, but I tried, man. I think he's dead set. I know his contract's coming up, but he's pretty loyal to H. Yeah, I know he's got a great voice, man. Listen, if you need commentary, bro, I got you. I'm doing this House of Glory thing next week. I got the Lucha Bros versus LAX I'll be doing. Sami Callihan's going to be in the house. Yeah, man, if you need me to talk to Pentagon and Phoenix, if you want me to put in a good word for LAX, I'd love to see LAX versus the Bucks, man. Yeah, I could put in a good word to all four of them, man. Believe me, I think everybody wants a part of AEW. Yeah, man, I couldn't make the drive out to Jacksonville. I just had I had things to do in Orlando, man. One thing at a time. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this ticket announcement, this MGM pool party. Wish I could be there, man. Listen, I'll catch up with you on Saturday, and we'll go over the Omega deal. Yeah, I think Kenny is pretty dead set, man. I think he'll be there for the ticket announcement at the pool party. Just make sure you give him a Mai Tai. Yeah, he wants the funny little umbrella in his drink, too. Maybe a pineapple hanging on the side of the fucking glass. I got you, bro. I'll talk to you later. Making deals happen, man. Listen, I'm the Chief Information Officer for AEW. Duty calls. What's going on, guys? I am back from Orlando. I'm fucking exhausted, but I'm bored. So I figured I'd hop on here and give you guys some AEW news. This is going to be the only fucking YouTube channel that you need to come to for AEW news, man. I got a ton of news. I got Brock Lesnar in the fucking news today, and his name is being linked to AEW. Paul Heyman is supposedly going to be negotiating his next contract. Now, we don't know when Lesnar's contract is up. We don't know how long Lesnar's contract currently is with the WWE, but all I know, it's been reported on Bleacher Report, it's been reported on SC Scoops, it's been reported everywhere else, that Lesnar is going to negotiate with the WWE, the UFC, and he is including AEW in these conversations. So we're going to go over all of that, and I got news on the possible commentary team for AEW, man. I got a lot of news. We're going to go over it right now. Make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you enjoy the video, man, hit that thumbs up. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button, man. Please do so. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Like I said, I'm on Twitter and Instagram. Once again, that's JD from NY206. And if you guys want to support the podcast on Patreon, patreon.com/JD from NY206. You guys are going to have a unbelievable episode of Off the Script tomorrow. I got every piece of information regarding the Dean Ambrose situation. I have yet to talk about it. And a lot of people have wanted my opinion on it. And we're going to go over everything on Friday's episode 259 of Off the Script. Normally with stories like this that break, I like to wait for all the information, because once it leaks that something major like that is happening, then it pretty much opens up the floodgates. So I got every single bit of information about Dean Ambrose, and I'm going to give you my opinion on it. Right now, just a little glimpse into what I'm thinking. I'm 50-50 on the Dean Ambrose situation, man. I do think that the man is creatively frustrated. There is absolutely no question. Everybody's creatively frustrated with the WWE. And part of me wants to say it's a fucking work. Part of me wants to believe it's a work and that Dean Ambrose is not going anywhere. So we'll talk about it on Off the Script tomorrow, man. Episode 259 to start your weekends, man. It'll be February 1st, 2019. But I do got news, man. I got AEW news. We're going to get into it right Now, Brock Lesnar is set to negotiate with AEW after WrestleMania. Dave Meltzer mentioned Brock Lesnar's future during the Wrestling Observer Live this week, where he said that Paul Heyman will be talking to 3 companies about Lesnar's services this time around, because All Elite Wrestling is now officially a player. They've been a player ever since that fan rally in Jacksonville. They are a player just based off WWE running around like chickens with their fucking heads cut off. WWE is running scared. WWE is looking for the pen, and they're looking to sign contracts that are upwards of 5 years to lock people down, man. The AEW effect, right? Yeah, it's real. Don't ever fucking tell me it ain't real anymore, motherfucker. It's real. Lesnar says, and I quote, if he wanted to fight, he'd be fighting now in the UFC. You know he got the big money offer from Vince McMahon. He's going to do WrestleMania. I fully believe he's going to do the Saudi show in May. And then who knows if the contracts come and go. But either way, it's going to be a 3-way dance with UFC, WWE, and AEW. Paul E. is negotiating the biggest 3-way dance of his entire life. All for the same guy, 3 companies. That's an interesting game, isn't it? End quote, says Dave Meltzer. Now, Brock Lesnar obviously is one of the biggest names, if not the biggest name, in all of WWE. His name commands a boatload of fucking money. Anywhere Lesnar goes, it's going to be a big deal. Anywhere Lesnar goes, there's going to be spotlight. There's going to be mainstream. There's going to be ESPN. Everything that Brock Lesnar brings with him is absolutely a fucking, without question, a game changer for anybody. Just because of the type of athlete, just because of who Brock Lesnar is. Multi-sport athlete, pay-per-view numbers through the fucking ass. Lesnar is going to command top dollar for his services. And the cons absolutely can match whatever offer that Vince McMahon is going to offer Brock Lesnar. Vince is going to offer and counter-offer. Brock, just like everybody else, is set to make the most money I think he's ever made with any wrestling promotion in his entire life. Now, the question is Brock Lesnar a fit for AEW? I think Brock Lesnar is a fit for anybody, but the one thing that I'm worried about with Brock Lesnar is he going to be accepted in that type of environment? Do they really need Brock Lesnar's services? Does Brock Lesnar fit into the mold that the Khan family is trying to build with AEW? I'm sure that they would love to have Brock Lesnar, but just like Goldberg and the rumors of Goldberg coming on into AEW were running crazy because of Goldberg's social media activity on Twitter and him following the All Elite Wrestling official Twitter account. And them following him right back. And then Tony Khan pretty much going on Jericho's podcast or whoever's podcast, being interviewed by people who were there at the fan rally. It's almost as if he had a man crush on Goldberg. He had nothing but blushing things to say about him. Now, I don't think Goldberg is a right fit for AEW. I don't want to see AEW go the way of WCW, where they just take these old-timers and WWE scraps just to come up with a fucking card for Double or Nothing, or build a company around a 51-year-old Bill Goldberg. I don't want that. There's a vision that AEW is seeing for themselves. And I don't think Bill Goldberg is going to fit into a long-term plan. If you want to sign him for a one-off, I'm fine for a one-off. I'm fine. But don't be going out there and bringing in Bill Goldberg for 6 months to a year. That's not what the AEW brand needs. The AEW brand needs youth. It needs vibrance. It needs to capture and contain the essence right now that is independent wrestling, and it needs to build on that. That's what I think they need to do. Yes, a few household names here and there, but everybody that they got Jericho, a household name. Kenny Omega's going to be a household name, whether you like him or not. You know, AEW is ruffling the feathers of WWE right now. Sooner or later, everyone's going to know about AEW. And when they get that TV deal the wheels are going to be spinning faster and faster and faster for All Elite Wrestling. Now, Lesnar does command top dollar, but AEW is backed, like I said, by the Khan family, who has more money than the McMahons. Therefore, you never know how deep they might be willing to dig their pockets to bring out a payday that Lesnar truly wants. Lesnar, for all we know, he could use AEW as leverage to get more money from the WWE. Vince ain't letting Lesnar go. You think Vince is going to let Lesnar go? Vince will bend over backwards to appease Lesnar in any way possible. Lesnar is going nowhere. That is my take on that. Now, the possibility of returning to the UFC probably made WWE fork out even more money to get Brock Lesnar to stick around after Crown Jewel. Only time will tell how much better of a deal Heyman will bring to the table for his client this time around with AEW in the mix. Lesnar commands high dollar because of the name he has been able to build for himself. He is an attraction, and just stepping in the building for work means he is going to get paid. The Wrestling Observer notes that Brock Lesnar will, of course, work WrestleMania this year. That match is slated to be against Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship, where it's rumored he will be dropping the title to Rollins there at WrestleMania. After WrestleMania, this is where things get a little bit murky. While it's not known exactly how long Lesnar's contract is currently with the WWE, it is still expected that he will work WWE Saudi Arabian show in May. This also will be complicated later on with his desire to go back to the UFC. Lesnar is allowed to fight in the UFC under his current WWE contract. Brock, though, is still testing in the USADA testing pool as well, so his suspension is still running up. But he won't be able to fight until he pays off his pre-existing fine for his last drug test infraction. This will be very interesting, man. The very interesting part of all this is once it is time for Brock Lesnar to talk about signing another deal, because Lesnar will be negotiating with all three, and this is going to obviously net him more money than anyone in WWE currently right now, even more than Brock Lesnar has been making with the WWE himself. Man, this is going to be a big deal. But Lesnar is not going anywhere. Lesnar can negotiate. Lesnar can do what he did all these other times. He's sucking the blood of Vince McMahon. He's treated Vince McMahon like a fucking puppet for all these years, man. How much money is Brock Lesnar sucking out of Vince McMahon? By using UFC as leverage to get more money from Vince. It's going to happen with AEW. He's going to use the Khan family as leverage to get more money from Vince, or he's going to use Vince to get more money from the Khan family. But I don't think Lesnar's going to go anywhere but the WWE. I would be fucking floored if Lesnar signs with AEW. I don't think that's what they need. I truly don't think that's what their vision is. Lesnar does not fit into he can make a one-off big payday, but Lesnar wants to make money on a guaranteed deal. That's his thing. That's where the UFC comes into play. We don't know what the fuck is going on with UFC. We don't know if he still wants to fight. We don't know if Dana White wants him back period. Right? He hasn't paid his fine, according to Meltzer. He's still testing with the USADA drug infraction. So I don't know what's going on, but I think we take it day by day. Let's get through WrestleMania, and that's where things are going to get a little bit more interesting. But if AEW brings in Brock Lesnar for whatever, a TV deal should come as easy as cake. Simple as that. Now, with everybody talking about AEW and them looking at current WWE deals, Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is reportedly not signing with the WWE. This Dean Ambrose news, he's walking away. Hideo Itami was granted his release from the WWE. WWE is frantically trying to lock down everybody to multi-year deals so that they don't go to AEW. Bully Ray actually commented on all of this. He commented on WWE worrying about losing more superstars to AEW. Now, All Elite Wrestling could be a very tempting location for a lot of WWE superstars. Chris Jericho said that they don't need that many superstars, but he didn't rule out taking a few good ones. This could be why, after Dean Ambrose made the decision not to resign with the WWE, that they were so proactive in talking to their talents. Mike Johnson of PW Insider reported that WWE pulled several superstars aside before SmackDown Live to talk about signing longer contracts. It was said to be a pretty wild situation backstage, and WWE might have shown their cards in a manner of speaking. Bully Ray wondered about this situation during Busted Open Radio. He questioned why WWE would take this kind of tactic if they weren't actually nervous about the situation. For anybody that you listen to, for anybody that you watch on YouTube, if they tell you flat out that WWE is not afraid, why should they be, of AEW? Don't even bother watching them anymore because they're misinformed, they're fucking unintelligent, and they're stupid as a motherfucker. The AEW effect, man, it's like the fucking T-virus in Resident Evil. It is infiltrating the WWE, and there is no cure. There is absolutely no cure for this virus running in WWE right now. Simple. The only cure, if there was a cure, the only cure for this AEW effect is for WWE to get on a creative fucking positive note and start writing better television. Because from what I see, and I'm gonna mention this tomorrow, no question. The only thing that I see is everybody in the WWE that's disgruntled, they're not disgruntled about money. Why the fuck should they be? There's one thing that they're disgruntled about, and it's fucking creative. Jim Ross mentions this all the fucking time. There's two things that could go wrong when talking to a professional wrestler. There's two things that irk a professional wrestler. It's either cash or creative. It's the two C's. It's not money. It's creative. Why did Dolph Ziggler leave WWE? Creative. Why did Dean Ambrose, quote unquote right now, leave the WWE or leaving the WWE? Why is he leaving the WWE? Creative. Why did Hideo fucking Itami leave WWE and ask for his release? Creative. Why did Neville walk away? Creative. Creative. Why did CM fucking Punk walk away? Creative. Everybody has walked away because of creative. If they fix the fucking creative and they do what they need to do, there wouldn't be these issues. We wouldn't be talking about Ziggler walking away. We wouldn't be talking about Ambrose not signing a deal after WrestleMania. It's fucking creative. Bully Ray said this, and I quote, "Man, I can look at it from the officer's point of view. I can look at it from the wrestler's point of view. The thing that screamed out to me was that it was, or if it was a work, if this Dean Ambrose thing was a work, why would WWE be trying to sign everybody to longer-term contracts? Sounds like this situation has them nervous. Because if they're scurrying to sign everyone to longer deals, what would force them to do that?" End quote. What would force them to do that, people? What would force them to do that? The answer is simple. I've been saying it for weeks. Now, only time will tell which WWE superstars might be the next to turn down a big money offer from the company. AEW is certainly becoming a viable option for some, and Cody Rhodes' remark about WWE being an alternative might have applied to wrestlers as well as fans in a lot of ways. WWE doesn't seem to like what is going on, though. Declining ratings and superstar departures don't really give them the security that they once had, especially with the billion-dollar television deals starting in just about 9 months. I told you what the fix is, people. I told you what the fucking fix is. It is very simple. It is very simple. Possible announce team for All Elite Wrestling. No, I will not be on the announce team, and nor will anybody else begging for jobs in the community. All Elite Wrestling has a ton of momentum behind them and even more potential as a company. They are backed by the Khans, and they certainly do want a talented announce team in place because a solid announce team is definitely one of the keys to success once they get a television deal. No question. Mike Johnson discussed the names he's heard for AEW's potential television show on PW Insider Elite Audio. There's only one name that has appeared for the company already, but you never know what could be going on with Jim Ross. He says, and I quote, "I've not heard anything about the announcers yet, except for obviously Alex Marvez, who did the launch party for them in Jacksonville. One would assume he will be in the mix as a potential announcer. Of course, when anyone is considering a great announcer who is on the free agent market, Jim Ross's name usually comes up very fast. He is currently under WWE contract, but his ability to work elsewhere might be coming soon. In fact, it is. in April after WrestleMania. His contract is up and he will not be signing a new deal with the WWE. This is coming from Mike Johnson of PW Insider, and I quote, Jim Ross's contract is coming up very soon, and once he's a free agent, anything is possible. It all depends on if you want an established voice to be an announcer or you're looking for a fresh voice. But one of the things I think helped New Japan Pro Wrestling on Access, not with diehard fans, but people who were just looking through channels, was they flipped and heard Jim Ross's distinct voice. They stopped and watched the program. End quote. Johnson said that he has a couple of friends who did in fact stop when they heard Jim Ross's voice on New Japan shows when they were being featured on Access TV. It would be a great get for AEW to snag Jim Ross, but we will have to see what the WWE Hall of Famer decides to do when April comes around. I'm gonna be very blunt and very honest with you guys. I love JR. I love JR's voice, but JR and his delivery has declined over the years. Jim Ross is still very knowledgeable. Jim Ross is still very distinct. But Jim Ross's distinct voice is becoming not so much more distinct as the years go on. You know, MLW just signed Tony Schiavone, and he sounds fantastic. I tune into MLW on YouTube every now and then, and I hear Tony Schiavone's voice, and he still has that nostalgic voice that we all loved from the Nitro days. I love Tony Schiavone. I always loved what Tony Schiavone brought to the table, man. His delivery and his voice was always great to me, man. It's like one of those soothing things. I could listen to him commentate all day. If I'm AEW, honestly, I'm not going for Jim Ross. I honestly think Jim Ross's best asset to AEW is talent. Going out, searching for talent, a knack for talent, an eye for talent, talent relations. Now, I don't know if he has the patience to do that type of thing, but I honestly think Jim Ross's brain is the most valuable asset that he possesses right now. It's not his voice anymore. You know, back in the Attitude Era, it was his voice and his brain equally. His voice has declined over the years. We all know that. I've listened to Jim Ross do these New Japan shows on Access TV when they did their U.S. shows, their big shows, and the mistakes that he was making, and fucking up wrestlers' names, and not remembering moves, and finishing moves, and this and that. So much so that people from the New Japan roster took to social media to complain about the commentary that was being done by Jim Ross. Even with the Mae Young Classic when he was there with Lita, it was terrible. Absolutely as if he didn't want to be there. When I listened to him on New Japan, it sounded like he did not even want to be there. What I would do is use Jim Ross's brain for talent relations. I would use his brain as far as a creative asset to AEW. You want to know who I'd go and get? If I'm AEW looking for a lead commentator, I'd go and get Matt Striker. I think Matt Striker is, right now, outside of Mauro Ranallo, the second best commentator in the business. That's just my opinion. I don't know who the fuck you pair him with, but I'd go and get Matt Striker and bring him on in to AEW. That's what I would do. We don't know what's going on with Lucha Underground. I know Eva Lise right now of Lucha Underground is tied up. They won't release her from her contract. I don't know what the contract situations are with all the Lucha Underground talent. We don't even know if there's going to be a season 5. They just stopped. And we don't know anything. And I don't know who's contracted there that is still contracted there and cannot be released from their contract. But if Matt Striker is available and he is able to be signed, I'm getting Matt Striker as my lead commentary guy for AEW. No question. No question. Who else is there? Who else is there? There really is nobody else. It's Jim Ross, and that's about it. Then you're gonna go start looking on the indies, and then you're gonna go looking at the Ring of Honors, right? Ian Riccaboni. He just signed a new multi-year deal with Ring of Honor too. AEW was looking for him. I won't even go and get Ian Riccaboni because I honestly think they need to separate themselves from giving themselves that Ring of Honor feel. You're starting up as a new promotion. You don't want to go and get Ring of Honor guys to sound exactly like Ring of Honor. If I want to hear him, I'm going to go watch Ring of Honor. I don't want to hear him on AEW. Matt Striker is your guy. No question. Speaking of Ian Riccaboni, he just signed a new multi-year deal with Ring of Honor. AEW was interested. This is coming from PW Torch. Riccaboni signed with Ring of Honor last April, but he had an opt-out clause that would have allowed him to negotiate with other companies next month. Ring of Honor was said to have made an aggressive offer, but Riccaboni's preference, or actually AEW and Ring of Honor both made an aggressive offer, but Riccaboni's preference was to stay with Ring of Honor. What is an interesting fact here is that both AEW and WWE were interested in signing him. Of course, WWE's got to throw their fucking name into the ring. We're interested in signing him when he had became a free agent. There's no word on who would or who he would have replaced in WWE if they had signed Riccaboni. Riccaboni has been with ROH since Kevin Kelly left in 2017. Riccaboni took to Twitter to tweet about his new deal, and he said that he loves Ring of Honor, he loves the crew, he loves the staff. This is my family, he says. I don't think that would have been a good deal, man. I think he made the right decision. AEW does not need Ian Riccaboni. You don't want to draw those parallels and similarities to Ring of Honor. You don't. Go out there and give yourself some. Exactly one of the reasons. Another reason why I wouldn't go and get Jim Ross. We've heard him already. That's a WWE guy. Differentiate yourself. Matt Striker has only done Lucha Underground. He's done some New Japan. I think his mind and his delivery and his excitement, his brand of commentary is fucking great. I remember I met Matt Striker, and he knows Red, and he knows everyone in House of Glory. I told him, dude, I even said this, quote me, said this word for word. I honestly think you're the second best commentator in the business. He smirked. He smirked. He left. He's like, I greatly appreciate it, but who's number one? I'm like, Morrow. You know, because Morrow was doing SmackDown at the time, and, you know, now he's doing NXT. And he had no problem with that at all. But I told him right to his face, and he was very gracious about it. I even met him at All In, because I interviewed MJF, and he was even nice then. Matt Striker is an awesome fucking guy, dude. You gotta go. If he is available, he is your man for AEW. I don't give a shit what they gotta do. Bring in somebody with a distinct voice, because the commentary team, man, I cannot even begin to fucking tell you. That is one of the most important aspects of a wrestling show to me. If the commentators sound like Matt Striker does or Morrow does, I'm watching. I can't even begin to tell you how big of a fucking asset that is to any wrestling company. That's just me. Tenille Dashwood is unable to sign with AEW. AEW promises to bring a new kind of women's division with their launch, and Brandy Rhodes spoke about this during their Jacksonville rally. Now, they will cast a wide net for talent, and Australia is definitely on their radar. One of the most popular Aussie talents on the indie circuit is Tenille Dashwood, a.k.a. Emma, in WWE. Mike Johnson was asked during PW Insider Elite Audio about the possibility on AEW signing Tenille Dashwood to a deal. There is a very big thing preventing her from doing so because she's already under contract with Ring of Honor. He says, and I quote, Tenille Dashwood is signed to Ring of Honor, and she would not be able to sign with AEW or anywhere else because she signed to ROH, end quote. She's also recovering from surgery and an illness. She is brave and fights on and has been quite open about her illness and what she has been going through. However, signing with All Elite Wrestling won't be something she is likely to worry about right now because her services are still reserved for ROH. Everybody that right now is tied down to a company, you know, it's not really a concern for them to worry about AEW. AEW needs to do what AEW needs to do. Like someone like Tenille Dashwood or anybody else that's interested in WWE on the indies, and they're interested in signing with AEW, you know, they have a long way to go right now. Right now, it's all hype. Right now, it's all just word of mouth and getting the word out there and getting the news out there. But they are interested. Obviously, they are interested. Obviously, this is as serious as a fucking heart attack is AEW, being that they got their vision honed in on several fucking talents in WWE and on the indies. This is a serious thing, but we don't know anything about Double or Nothing yet. We don't know anything about their third show in Jacksonville. We don't know anything about a TV deal. They don't even have a fucking ring yet. So anybody that is interested in AEW should not be concerned with AEW. Worry about doing what you're doing now, and then when the time is right, hopefully AEW is up and running, and then you can maybe begin a new chapter of your life with AEW. But right now, let things naturally happen and progress with AEW, and let's see where they are 6 months from now. Maybe they're on television when SmackDown Live moves to Fox Sports in October. Finally, guys, I'm going to end with this one. I got more news. I'm going to be double uploading all weekend, man. You guys are going to be getting off the script and off the script extras. I got a ton of AEW news. AEW confirms they have signed Jungle Boy. I don't know who the fuck Jungle Boy is. I've never seen Jungle Boy wrestle. I don't know what the fuck he's about. But apparently he comes with a lot of hype. Now, they are getting their talent roster ready. There is obviously a need for talent. Now they've made their latest signing official, and everyone had predicted this before AEW was even announced. Luke Perry. Yes, 90210. Luke Perry. That Luke Perry. He is the proud father of Jack Perry, a.k.a. Jungle Boy, who is only 21 years old. But he has impressed a lot of people and just recently appeared for PWG. Cody made this announcement during a video series that he's doing now, documenting the Elite's road to Double or Nothing. It was also announced in the same video that AEW will be holding a Double or Nothing ticket announcement party on February 7th. That's one day following my birthday. I wish I could be there. This will be streaming on all of AEW's social media outlets. It is also rumored that Kenny Omega will be there, and the announcement of Omega joining AEW will be made on February 7th. I have news on that this weekend. Don't go anywhere for this All Elite Wrestling news, man. I also have news on if there's going to be any AEW plans for WrestleMania weekend and a possible main event for Double or Nothing, man. Do not go anywhere this weekend. I'm going to have a ton of off the script for you. Episode 259. And we're going to have a ton of AEW news, man. But Jungle Boy, if you guys are familiar with Jungle Boy, let me know down in the comments. I don't know anything about Jungle Boy. I've never seen him wrestle. I haven't even looked him up on YouTube or anything. But apparently he comes with a lot of hype. He's 21 years old. Son of Luke Perry. You know, this is unbelievable. Can you imagine being Jack Perry in this situation? 21 years old. He just started out in professional wrestling. He was with PWG, and now he's going to be performing for the second biggest promotion in the United States, directly competing with the WWE. Even though they say they're not going to be competing, they're only going to be offering an alternative. Everything that they're doing is competing. If WWE is matching their offers and fucking matching their moves like a fucking game of chess, this is competition. Now he is part of the quote-unquote war. I know there's really no war, but he's part of the competition. He's part of the fucking competition between AEW and WWE right now. That's got to be fucking unbelievable for a 21-year-old like Jack Perry, man. Let me know what you guys think of Jungle Boy signing. WWE also is looking for female talent that is on AEW's radar, man, and they're not doing so good on that. I'll have news on that this weekend as well. Bea Presley is obviously interested in WWE, but AEW is also interested in her as well. So I'll talk about all that on the podcast later this weekend, man. Thank you guys so very much for all your support. If you did enjoy the video, please hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you think about Brock Lesnar possibly negotiating with AEW. Let me know what your commentary team would be for AEW, man. Do you like Matt Striker? Who would you choose as the lead guy, and who would you choose as a color man for AEW? Let me know down below, and I'll see you guys right back here on Friday afternoon for Off the Script, episode 259, part number 1, man. Thank you guys so very much. I'm out of here. Hit that thumbs up. Follow me on social media, at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And if you guys want to support the podcast on Patreon, patreon.com/JD from NY206, man. Thank you guys so very much. That's Barbershop Window. If you guys want to go get your t-shirts, there you go. Accidentally clicked on it. I wanted to show me. There I am. Thank you guys so very much. I'm getting out of here, and I will see you all on the podcast this weekend. I'll talk to you guys later.